I invite us to start by getting more grounded and rooted. And what do I mean by that? Well, you can take some time to just spread the feet or the butt cheeks or the back against the chair to feel more the body coming into contact with something stable, something concrete. And you can also visualize or imagine grounding and rooting yourself. Something that might be supportive is to imagine as if when you inhale, roots kind of grow out of the body and you just become more centered and grounded with the floor or the chair or the ground. However, rooting or grounding, it often allows us to imagine that we're kind of going down into the earth. But you can also explore rooting or grounding in other places or in other spaces or in other directions. So perhaps that might mean I'm expanding or connecting more with the air or the space I'm in, with what's above me, what's within me. And perhaps when we can feel or we can sense. So this isn't really a conceptual thing. This is about sensing, this is about feeling stability, feeling connected, feeling present. Because if we can feel that or sense that, then we can cultivate that, we can practice that, we can become more familiar with it. Perhaps we can then recognize that sense of being rooted or grounded is always here. It's not in the past, it's not in the future, it's always right now, right here. And that anchor or that root can be really supportive when times are difficult, when the mind is racing, when the emotions are high. So, what I'd like for us to practice today is just to recognize and acknowledge recognize and acknowledge what's unfolding in my experience from a place of being grounded, rooted, and centered. We can recognize and acknowledge what happens, the sounds that come and go, the thoughts that come in and out, emotions that arise and fall. Perhaps it might be helpful to think about you being on a watchtower and you're watching who's coming and going, what's going on. Or you're at a busy train station, just watching, just observing trains coming and going, people coming and going. We're not getting on the train, we're not chasing a person, we're just recognizing and acknowledging what's happening and returning back to being rooted, to being grounded, rooted in the body, rooted in the breath, rooted in what's present here and now. This isn't about trying to change anything. This isn't about resisting or fighting. We're just noticing. Ah, I'm thinking this. Ah, notice that sound. Ah, there's an emotion. And then returning back to just being grounded and rooted and just watching, observing. Perhaps in these moments of longer silence, we can really get a sense of the nature of the mind. How the mind is always wanting to think and to analyze, and at the same time, always still and present, grounded. We can observe our mental habits, how easy or difficult it is to pay attention. With this practice of recognizing and acknowledging, we cut through the chatter, we cut through the habitual patterns of thinking, and we intentionally and deliberately shift our attention to what's happening right now, right here. A very foundational skill. And with that, we can take as little or take as much as we want from what we discovered in today's practice. To go off and enjoy the rest of the day. Stay grounded, centered, and just be more mindful of what's happening, what you can recognize, what can you acknowledge in the space you're in, moment by moment and breath by breath. See you all next time.